What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? Phil Rogacki here with Two Tree Guy Podcast at Arbor Fest here in North Carolina. And we got a little treat for you today. We got Travis Sheaffer from Pennsylvania here to share his story.
What's going on,
Welcome,
man?
buddy. Is this your first podcast?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Man, we got to get more people on here. No one's ever been on a podcast before, and it's cool to kind of break the ice with everybody at the show.
You know, it's crazy because I'm a big advocate for podcasts, especially like tree ones.
Uh-huh.
And I tell everybody, all my coworkers, everybody I've ever worked with, please go listen to just one podcast. It's so cool. It's such a cool fucking form of information.
Yeah,
you know?
it is, man. And that's why we started this podcast. It was Jared and myself. I said, hey, we're going to make a podcast. We're going to have it. And if nobody listens to it, it doesn't matter. This is for our entertainment to have fun together. And if we have fun and shoot the shit, other people are going to like it and shoot the shit with us
definitely.
and stuff like that. So it was originally called Two Tree Guys and a Bucket of Beer, but the logo was so long that we just cut off the bucket of beer. Now we just drink there. And those are all our non-sponsors we have on our podcast.
The unpaid beer sponsors.
Exactly. But man, I want to hear your story. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got in the industry and where you're at now.
So I'm 28 now. So in my eyes, I feel old now. But I've been
that
doing
never
tree work.
changes, man. Never changes.
It's just going to keep
Yeah,
continuing.
it does.
I've been doing tree work for 5 years, and I think my story is kind of funny because I was dating a girl, and her brother-in-law was in tree work. He did utility work, and I had no idea what that was, and we were at like a family get-together or whatever, and he got his son one of those drones for his birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I got to fly that. You know, so I got a hold of it, and sure enough, the first thing I did was get it stuck at the top of this maple tree. And I felt horrible, you know, and he's like, I just got that. Like, I can't believe you got my expensive drone stuck. So I climbed to go get it. I climbed up the tree to get it, and as soon as I got to the top, he was like, you want a job? And I was hurting really bad for a decent job. I was a mechanic at the time. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. If it's money, I'd love to try it. Mm-hmm. And he got me hired on pretty immediately, and I started.
What company was that with?
Nelson.
Nelson.
Nelson
Okay,
Tree Service.
that's a big company, right?
Yeah, they're big. I think they're owned by Asplin.
Gotcha.
Too, so they're a conglomerate of Asplin, so huge, right? And that was my introduction to the tree world, and it was a lot of older guys, old school guys who, did everything very, very old school, and that was fine for me.
That's who you had to learn from.
That's who I had to learn from.
Okay.
And, I didn't know any better, so I just took it as it was.
Yeah.
And kind of went through tree boot camp, I guess you could say. And when I went through tree boot camp, and the guys kind of were liked me, they were like, we're going to put you with the guys that climb. And that's where I met my mentor.
Okay. Who was that?
His name is Brian Schmidt. I think he might listen to this podcast. I hope he hears this episode.
Brian Schmidt.
I think he'd get a
What's
kick
up,
out
man? If you're listening right now.
He was totally different from all the dudes, right?
What was different about him?
Well, he didn't wear jeans and logger boots and like roll in with a hangover and like climb into the bucket. You know, he was like, he was younger for one thing. I think he was probably like 32, and he just he seemed like he liked stuff I liked, like hiking and rock climbing and stuff like that. You know, he kind of just gave off that energy. And after getting to climb and like seeing him climb, I was like, whoa, this is actually a way different industry than I thought it was.
It was a lot different than the old timers you were
utility work,
from.
just going up in a bucket and then running through the chipper. Yeah. So I thought, wow, there's this whole other side of tree work that I didn't know about. That's like, adrenaline. It's like rock climbing. And, I've always been an adrenaline junkie. So I kind of just followed him around like a little duckling and begged him for all the information, and it seemed like the light almost kind of died out on him, like he was just like, so and so about tree work anymore, because he'd been doing it a long time, and
he was burnt out.
Yeah, but when he had mentioned to me about gear, I I saw the light come back on in his eyes,
Yeah.
you know? So that's kind of where him and I clicked, was like,
The gear.
yeah.
Now, why did that excite him?
I guess it was what got him excited when he started too. You know, like,
Yeah.
well, especially with like bigger companies, you don't get a vast variety of equipment, right?
Yeah.
You get your bare bones stuff. It's really hard to pass anything down through safety to like approve certain things. So it's like you get what you get.
So you got to buy this stuff, go home on your own time. So he's probably was that guy that was researching and finding
Exactly.
and YouTubing and who's using what and why. And yeah, you geek out.
And he was the first person to tell me like, oh yeah, you know, there's other ropes than like these ropes that they give us.
Mhm.
And there's other, you know, climbing devices than what they give us. And as soon as that started, like he kind of like reignited his fire to like watch me, you know, get excited about it. And then after that, it just became like this back and forth of like, we're going to, you know, we're sneaking equipment in on the job and stuff like that we're not supposed to have.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's so funny. Like you're like, oh man, I'm gonna use this, and I'm not supposed to, but it's gonna make me safer, and I'm gonna be able to climb faster, and it's gonna make the company more profit.
Yeah,
but you can't use it.
Yeah, you can't use it. And he introduced me to everything. Like he was like, go online. You can go to, I think it was Tree Buzz. He was like, go on Tree Buzz and, you know, listen to like Mark Chisholm.
Yeah.
And basically gave me all the tools to go off from there. And I still consider him a mentor.
Good. You talk to him a lot?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
He kind of he got some really nice job with a contract to just like maintenance like a cemetery or something.
So just constantly.
He just kind of prunes trees every once in a while, hangs out. You know, he's got a.
Have you ever thanked him for teaching you? And
up and down.
Up and down.
And anybody I talk to too, like anytime I've gotten the opportunity to train younger kids, I always tell them about like how instead of having that old head like beat it India type mentality, he was always like super chill about everything. Like, you know, oh, you want to climb that tree? Go ahead. Yeah, you can climb it. I think you can do it. You know, he was very relaxed about everything. He wasn't like pushing and no yelling. And it kind of was like, I watched the generation flip, like the gap stopped, you know, where the older mentality is kind of stopping and the more proactive, like encouraging side of training is coming in.
Gotcha.
That's what I got from him.
With Nelson, or just in general.
Just him I mean that Brian Schmidt in general. Yeah.
Gotcha. You should give him a call, man.
Oh, I definitely will after this.
like you should definitely give him a call. He would love to hear from you, especially if you haven't talked to him in a long time, because you never know when your last conversation is going to be with somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so thank him, call him, tell him you're on a podcast, bragging about him and stuff. That's cool, man. So where are you at now in your career? And what's your plans for the future you want to do?
A lot of plans actually for the future. I mean, that's one of the things I really like about tree work is all the avenues you can go down. Brian actually was one of the first people to tell me, like, you got to go do something else. Like, utility work is nice and everything, but you got to go try something else. And
in tree care.
Yeah, in tree care. And one of the first things he mentioned to me actually was North America Training Solutions. He was like that, you know, they're doing really cool things, and if you can get into a position where you can be like a trainer, or a safety supervisor, or something like that, he's like, that should be your end game. He's like, because you're never going to be a salesperson.
No?
Yeah, he's like, you're not going to be able to do that.
Why, man? You seem like you're good with your words. You seem pleasant to talk to.
I'm actually, believe it or not, I have a really hard time talking to people.
Really?
Yeah. Especially
we
clients.
Literally were like, hey, do you want to jump on the show? And you're like, yep, I do. I want to get on here.
That was specifically because I did not want to miss out on the opportunity. I'd kick myself in the butt.
Good. Well, do you ever come out to California?
No, I have not been out to California. We were planning on going actually when the Paradise Fire happened.
Gotcha.
To come out when they needed tree people.
Who were you going to go work for?
I can't remember what the company was, but it was pretty quickly everyone realized that it was a rough scene. Like there wasn't enough. Like they had FEMA trailers set up for everybody, and like the price wasn't what they were promising, and like the training was like,
gotcha.
You know, they needed people to work so fast that they didn't have the training.
Yeah.
So they were like, here's a saw, go fight the fire. So
yeah.
I wanted to really bad, but
well,
haven't been out there yet.
There's plenty of work and plenty of fires on its way out there. So you haven't missed out on anything.
I got to come check out some academy stuff.
Yeah. come out there, come stay. Anytime you're coming through California and you're there, you always have a place to stay. I tell everybody that's traveling.
Thanks.
They just got to reach out to us, say, hey, I'm coming in town for a couple days. Come stay there, hang out at the ranch with us, go through some courses, classes.
Yeah, that would be sick.
And get on a full-length podcast where we get to drink beer and talk about tree care in the studio.
That would be super cool. Thank you.
So what's the next steps for you in your career in this journey you're on?
Well, right now I've worked residential and bigger sectors, and I've done some more small operations, and I'm in a small operation now with Bradley's Tree Service, and I really like it. You know, he's the owner of the company's my age, and he's kind of looking to get more into running the show rather than doing the work, you know, and he just wants somebody to be a climber for him, and him and I just kind of clicked right off the bat when we met, and I've just been climbing for him ever since, and it's
how long
freed
have you been
him up
there?
to do a lot. It hasn't been super long. I think January.
Okay.
So not that long.
Gotcha.
But so far I love it.
Good.
I love being in a small outfit again. Like it's the owner, me, and 3 other guys.
Awesome. That camaraderie, that brotherhood.
Yeah.
And in residential work, I tell a lot of my guys and everything, it's so it diversifies you and everything. You work around power lines, big removals, small removals, fine pruning, plant health care, the customers, the cities. I mean, so much. It gets you so well rounded that anybody who's getting in any type of tree work in the utility or in logging or anything, I think residential gets you very well rounded as a professional in this industry from there.
Absolutely.
But like we were talking earlier is, going out and you were saying, being able to experience different types of tree work out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's
on the fires, getting in you've done a little utility, getting out there in the woods, hiking up 3 miles up a hill and dropping big, 4-foot diameter Doug firs and pondos.
I mean, how much fun is that?
Yeah, exactly.
I've also been. I love conservation work, and I've seen people doing like the habitat spar work, where they just kind of like you blow the top out of a tree and like hack it up to make it look like a dead spar for wildlife. Yeah, that's like genius. Anything I can use climbing to make a career out of, I'm into it. Cool. Cat rescue, drone rescue. Habitat spars. As long as I'm climbing trees, I'm having fun.
Drone rescue. Yeah, you should start a business, drone rescue, for that. So, I mean, is this your career path? Is this what you're going to do for the rest of your life?
Without a doubt.
With tree care.
Yeah, because
when did you realize this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life?
Definitely within the first year.
Yeah.
Like after I started, like I saw the guys climbing, and I knew there was that side of it, and I realized how many avenues you could go down, because I never want to feel stuck. If I want to get into sales, I could. If I wanted to, start my own company, I could. If I wanted to, there's so many avenues you can go down. So it was pretty early on I realized that it was definitely what I'm going to do. And one of the reasons I knew that inside me was because we worked right alongside the power company when I first started. And they were saying, oh, those linemen, man, they're making so much money. They got great benefits. They got all the older guys were saying, quit and go do that because you'll be way better off. And I said, no, man, I like trees way too much. I just like trees way too much.
I've had a couple of my teammates who've left and gone to do line work, and literally 3 months later has come back and said, nope.
Really?
Tree work. That's what I want to do.
See, I feel like there's certain people that how tree guys are. I feel like I would get bored, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm afraid of electricity for one thing.
Yeah.
And most tree guys, once it's in you, it's in you. You're going to do it.
It is. I always told people, when you get in this, you're either going to love or hate this industry. And the people that are in it, they love it. I mean, they love it. If it paid $0, they would still do it every single day because they love it that much.
Absolutely.
From there.
It's never been about the money for me, definitely.
Nope. And it's our goal as a company to continue to elevate our standards and elevate education and training so we can get people more money. We can help save lives out there. out there. But our industry's slowly rising the ranks of getting what you guys deserve and what you need to get paid for that.
Yeah, I was actually just having a conversation with a couple people about that, about how it's, still not a registered trade in the United States and stuff like that. But I feel like things like this and, the academy and your podcast and everything, it's pushing in that direction. I mean,
it is.
Everyone's like, why is the industry exploding? Like since, the 90s to now, how much like it exploded.
Look at the innovation.
It's because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
More people are communicating about it, and, there's more events and there's more, the internet, of course, too. But like just giving more training opportunities is like, that's such a big thing for you to give to the industry. So
we're going to have, thank you. I appreciate that, man. And it's not just us. We always say it's not our academy. The academy trained, it's not our academy. It's the industry's. It's your academy. It's everybody's.
Okay.
It's not our curriculum. It's your curriculum with our curriculum, with his curriculum, with her curriculum that comes together to make that standard. And once we create that standard, we constantly keep elevating it through education, training, and innovation we need from there. And when we create that universal training and education and that standard amongst all of us and our knowledge that we have, we can change an industry. And
for
sure. What my best friend and I used to always say was, this is a revolution. And we had on our trucks, it would say, join the revolution.
Oh, that's sick.
Because it is. It's a revolution. And
Absolutely.
it's about all of us coming together, understanding the why we do it, and focusing on the North Star. And the mission is to elevate the standard of the industry through education, training, and innovation. If we do it together, we can change an entire industry.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's not anymore of, I got to learn from some old dudes that just, smoke cigarettes and half drunk and drinking their Red Bull just to make it through the day. And they learned from Bob, and Bob learned from Larry. And look, they got all their fingers, and they know how to do tree work. I mean, you know what I mean? It's time for that change.
It is time for that change.
So let me ask you, what, 5 years you've been in the industry. There's things you've seen good. There's things you've seen bad. There's things you've done good, bad. What kind of wisdom, or just in life in general, that you can share to the viewers, to the people listening to this, to the guy and gal driving to work? What tip and little boost can you give them?
Well, I think, well, my initial answer is like just a general thing to say to anybody would be to just try everything, and don't ever feel stuck in this industry. You should never feel stuck in this industry. You get uncomfortable with the place that you're working, change it. If you don't like, doing this certain type of tree work, change it. Don't be afraid to work somewhere else or work for yourself. It's about taking chances, for sure.
Good.
As far as like something for people to keep in mind, just to try to stay safe on a day-to-day basis, is I kind of treat it like it's a game. I want to see if I can do this whole tree without taking my hand off the saw. Like a little challenge for myself.
Yeah.
And the more I've done, I started doing that like maybe a year or two ago. I actually heard, I think it was Dan Holiday say something about that, like use a big, no one-handed saws.
Yeah.
Say something like that, like make it a challenge. And I started doing that a few years ago, and ever since I feel like I've gotten a lot safer just from doing stuff like that. Like, how can I make it, a fun experience, fun thing instead
until
punishment.
it becomes a norm, every day.
Exactly.
You challenge, all of a sudden that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes you that much safer. That's good advice. Well, my friend, you did your first podcast.
I did my first podcast.
You did your first podcast.
On one of my favorite podcasts, too.
And you're going to have many more. It's Joe Rogan, Two Tree Guy. I mean, it's right up there, I'm always... So share it, man. Share our podcast. Put it online. And everybody listening, we appreciate all our viewers and people that are tuning in right now with us on their drive to work or, at work, up the tree and listening to us. But share it. We don't have a fee to the show. I'm not asking anybody to pay any money. I'm just asking you to pay the fee, and that's to share it. So we appreciate everybody that does that. So Travis, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate all your hard work.
Me, man.
Love for you to come out to California and spend some time with us.
I'm definitely coming now.
Out there. And man, we thank you for your advice on don't get stuck. You can change anything in any situation you're in.
Absolutely.
Just do it. Freaking do it. And make safety a challenge. Take some different challenges and make yourself better out there. So I appreciate that advice. So everybody listen, man, have a great day today. And remember to continue to elevate the standard through education, training, and innovation. Till next time. See you guys.